Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to easily start designing and creating the simple calculator in the VB.net. So let's begin. If I search the calculator in the Google, so I have all of these calculators, but the most common between the people is the simple one. So I have something like this, the numbers, the operators, and the equals up to the end. To do that, I have created another calculator over here. So I have the text here, then add up to 17 different buttons over here. Let's do it in the action cover here and open up the project. So cover here, and this is my solution. You have two options. First, you can come to the file and close the solution. Then start creating the new solution and the new project inside that solution. Or I can come over here and select the solution itself, right click on it, add the new project. So this is the result. Over here, I need to select the project type. So I select the Visual Basic, the Windows for the desktop computers. And here I have the Windows Form application by the .NET or .NET Core. And this is the Visual Basic Windows Desktop. Don't select the .NET Framework, select the .NET only and come to the next. In this window, I need to write the project name. So its name is ProCalc or calculator. You can write anything that you want, and your project will be saved inside the My First App VBSN, exactly over here. Now go to the next. In this window, we need to select the framework or the engine of the project. By default, it is the latest version, .NET 7, and you can select the older versions. You know what? This project is the basic one. So the version of the framework is not important matter. You can use the 6.0 or 7.0 or in the future select the 8, 9 up to the end. So let's select the latest version 7.0. Come to the create and start creating automatically the project. So it's done. Now I have the Pro Calculator over here, and also I have the form one here. Let's select this and close it. Now let's select this and double click on it. So the form is added over here, something like this. Right click on it and delete. So this is the deleted, and after that let's select the project itself, right click on it and set as a startup project. This is a really important matter. And also right click on the project, add the new item, or you can directly select the form, Windows Forms. Click on it. In this window, we need to select the form, and it's selected by default. So let's name it calculator FRM. It stands for the form, and add it. After a couple of seconds, the new form will be added over here. So let's select the form and resize it up. So this one, come to the properties. And at the beginning, let's write the calculator and set the startup position to the center screen. And after that, if I take a look, I don't want to use the maximize. So let's select the maximize and make it fast. Now I have only the close and the minimize. In the next step, it's time to add the icon or appropriate icon over here. Currently, I have the default icon. In the next step, let's define the new one. To do that, and to stop my tutorial, I have searched the icon over here, and it is iconfinder.com. Previously, we talked about this matter, and this is my favorite one. You can use any of this, and don't forget to set the free over here. Now let's select this, and I want to work with the ICO extension. So by default, it is PNG. Let's select the other and ICO and download the file. To start my tutorial, if I come over here and I put all of these inside the folder and the project files of this course at the first section and the first lectures. So this is the images, get inside the icons, and I want to work with this one. So let's copy this. If you can't get access to this icon, no worries. You can select any ICO files over here. Now come over here and select this, and this is my icon. Where are you? The icon is over here, and this is over here, or by default it is over here. Now let's select this, come to the open, and the icon is added over here. And let's save everything and run the application. But I got this error message. Let's select the no and get inside the error list. As you see, the form one is not declared. So if I click on this, you can see the form one over here. Previously, we talked about how to fix this problem. The solution is really simple. Select your project, come to this, show all files. And after that, I have the my project and the application. If I click on the application my app, you can see the form one is over here, but we deleted the form one. So it's time to add the new name, calculator FRM, and paste it over here, the calculator FRM. In addition, if I take a look and expand the designer, based on my changes, this is changed, and you can see this calculator FRM. Now let's save everything, close this, and also this one. Now don't hesitate to save everything and get inside the build and rebuild the project. So this is the result. It succeeded. And if I run, I can see the great and amazing result. So this is my form and it's running perfectly. In the next step, it's time to add the first item. The first item is this text box. So if I take a look in the real world calculator, over here I can copy the number and also right click on it. So this is not the label and it is the text box. So come over here, and if I hide this, great, and the calculator, double click on it. And if you can't see it over here, no worries, just close it and double click on it one more time. Now come to the toolbox, and if I take a look, I have the text box over here. Select this and resize it here and here. Now if I move it a little bit up, come to the properties of my text box, and by default I can write the 0, and this is not important matter, this is the 0. And if I take a look over here, it is the right side, the text of my text box. So come over here and I have the text aligned, set it to the right side. Now it's done. And also if I come over here and come to the properties, border style, set it to the fixed single like this. And also I have the read only, set it to read only to lock the text box. Then I have the font property. Let's select the font and change it up to, for instance, 24 or 26. And the result is like this. Now it looks great and amazing. Or I can come over here and instead of the fixed single, let's select the none. And the result is like this, exactly like the Microsoft calculator. And if I take a look on my calculator, it needs to add something like this. So come over here, select this and come to the properties and the border style. Let's set it to fixed single. Now let's save everything, and if I run, I can see the great and amazing result. If you can see the changes in the final application, don't forget, it's really simple. Just come over here and close it one more time and get inside the calculator form, and don't hesitate to rebuild your project. Then you can see the changes that is reflected in the final application. So if I come over here and come to this one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 rows of the buttons. So I can come over here, come to the toolbox and add it over here and resize it like this. Now if I take a look at it over here and come to the properties and make it bold. Also let's select the bigger font size, and this is the bigger one. Come to this and add the text to it. So I can select this and the 7. So let's select the 7 over here. And after that, it's time to use and copy it. So let's copy and paste it over the next one. Currently, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns of the buttons. So let's select this one and paste over here. This is the second one, and the next one, and the next one. So I need to add the 7, 8, 9 and the multiply. So 7, 8, 9, and the multiply. So this is the multiply. You can use the lowercase x, and this is the lowercase x, or you can use the uppercase x for the multiplication. So this is, let's select all of this, come to the properties, copy, and paste it over here. And after that, let's add the next one. You can see the next one like this, and also the next one. So this is the next one, and also this one, and put it over here. So everything looks great and amazing. Also, I can come over here and select this, make it a little bit smaller, and it looks great. So let's size up to here, and this one up to here. Let's save everything and repeat the project one more time. It's a really important matter. So I have the C over here, it stands for clear, and the percent stands for division. So if I take a look, I have 3 places for the buttons. Let's select both of these, and this is the result, and delete that. You can use the clear over here and leave this space by default free, or you can use 3 locations of the buttons and name it clear. So the clear, and this is the division and the percent in it. And after that, I have the next one, 7, 8, 9, then 4, 5, 6. So this is 4, 5, then the 6. And the operator is, if I take a look, operator is minus this one. So let's just come over here and use the minus operator over here. And the next step is time to use this, and currently it is 1, 2, 3. So this is 1, the next one is 2, and the next one is 3. So this is 3. And after that, if I take a look, the positive or plus over here. So come over here and add the add or the plus. This is. And after that, if I take a look over here, I have the dots here or decimal and the 0 over here. So, and also if I select this, delete that and resize it up to here. And also this is the dot. This is dot like this, and also the 0 over here like this. And after that, this is equals. So let's write the equals, and this is the result. In addition, you can change the location of the 0 and the dot or decimal sign. So it's not important matter. You are completely free to design anything that you want. For instance, you can set this one up to here and select the plus up to here. And it is completely personal matter and its usage in your project. So if I take a look over here, I have it and it looks good, I think. And also I can move this part a little bit to the top, and this is the result. Now let's change the location of the buttons entirely. Come over here, select this form and resize it up to here. Well, now let's save everything, rebuild the project, and let's run the application after rebuilding that. Well done, now it looks great and amazing calculator, and it's a really great idea to start writing the codes for this. It's time consuming, so let's talk about it in the upcoming tutorial. Go ahead and open up your project and start designing your own calculator. Thanks, and thanks goodness. Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to start writing the code for the clear and the numeric buttons. Now, let's dig in. In my previous tutorial, we talked about how to design the GUI or the graphical interface of the calculator. Now we have something like this. Let's start writing the code for the numeric and also the clear. Suppose I have something like this in the calculator. I can easily clear that like this. So if you click on the clear button, the text inside the text box should be 0. So this is my text box, and come over here and name it the main text box. The naming the controls is really great idea and will increase your speed for writing the codes and the main text box. Now I have the clear, and this is my clear button, and let's name it, for instance, clear bot. Clear bot, and this is the result. Let's come over here and click on this. Easily I need to select easily I need to write the me and the main text box. The main text box, which property? The text property equals to what? Equals to 0 like this. Now my mission is accomplished successfully for the clear button. In the next step, it's time to add the text for the 0. So if I take a look over here, currently if I press the 0 button, nothing happened over here. But if I click the number 1, then press the 0, so the 0 is added over here. It means if the text of my text box equals to 0, the only thing we need is assigning the 0 to the text box. And if the text of the text box is not 0, then add the text box to the 0 over here. Let's do it in the action. It's very simple and it's straightforward. Just come over here, select this, and its name, if I take a look, is button 19. Let's name it button underscore 0 like this. Now if I double click on this, we can easily add the if structure and say if the main text box, which property? The text property, equals to what? Equals to 0 like this. And then let's add the else structure over here and this one. And then let's write the main text box text equals to 0, exactly like this. And add some comment here and add description. The current number is 0, like this. And over here, if the current number is not 0, then add the main text and write something like this. The main text box text equals to main text box text plus the number 0 like this. Now it's done, and I can easily add the description over here, or I can add something like this. And this is a really great idea, adding the comment for organizing and separating the codes. Now it's done, and in the next step, it's time to add the same code for the remaining buttons. For instance, if I come over here, and currently it is 0, but if I click on the 1, then it is number 1. And if I take a look one more time, and if I press the 1, then press the 0, then the 0 is added over here. But for the first time, nothing happened. Let's do it in the action. Come over here and click on this, copy. And after that, it's time to select the number 1 and rename it to the number 1 or button 1 easily. And quickly click over here. And let's try something like this. Check if the text box text is 0, and then assign the 1 to that like this. And if the text box text is not 0, then add it like this. Main text box text plus 1 over here, and is the current number is 0. So it's done. Now if I come and run the application, I can see the great and amazing result. So come here and write the 0, nothing happened. And if I add the 1, then 0, it's available. Also, for deeper understanding, I can come over here, add the breakpoint in the number 0. So let's come to this. Note, the breakpoint is a really great feature of the Visual Studio to look inside the codes deeply. It's a really important matter to use it whenever you want to check the codes step by step. So currently the 0 is over here, and let's press the 0 one more time. So the text of my text box is 0. Then go ahead and make it 0 one more time. Or you can escape running this one, but let's leave it over here. Now, if I continue and press the number 1, and let's come here at the breakpoint over here, easily and quickly. Now let's clear this and add the number 1. So the text of my text box is 0. It means assign the number 1 to the text box like this. Now if I press the number 1, so let's see one more time. Now I have the number 1 over here and it's not the 0. So go to the next line and add the current text of my text box to the number 1. And the result is 11 over here. And also I can add the next one up to the end. So for the remaining items and numbers, the only thing we need is repeating the codes. So let's stop the application, come to the next button, and exactly over here. Let's be patient. And if your designer is not responding, easily close that and open it from scratch. This is the known bug of the Visual Studio. So this is the number 1. The next one is number 2. Come over here and write button number 2. And also the next one is 3. So let's write button 3 like this. So let's select the number 2 and double click on it. And let's copy this part and paste it over here. The only thing I need to change is this one. And let's write number 2. And this one number 2. So let's come over here and come to the next one and the number 3. So paste it over here, and this is number 3 and the 3 over here. It's time to add the items one by one. To start my tutorial, I stopped the recording. Stay with me. Welcome back. Now I added the codes for all of the remaining buttons. So the last one is number 9, and you can see it over here, and the number 8, 7 up to the end. Also, I renamed the buttons from the number 4 up to the number 9. So this is the button 9, and this is the button 4. So it's time to run and check the application. Let's do it. So let's click over here, this, and all of these one by one up to here. It's working perfectly and completely. But if I take a look inside the code, for instance, the number 0 or all of the remainings, this part of the code is repeating up to 10 times. So the next and next, all of these are common and similar to each other. The only thing is different is this number and this number. We can easily define the sub or function in the VB.NET, then put these codes inside it, and inside each button we can call the sub or function to reduce the lines of the codes. It's time consuming, so let's talk about the sub in my upcoming tutorial. Thanks and thanks goodness. Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to start working with the sub procedure in the VB.NET. So let's take it. If I take a look over here inside the project, currently I repeated this part of the code up to 10 times. And you can see the number 5, 6 up to the end. Repeating all of this is not really logical. Suppose you want to change something inside this, for instance, add this string over here. So I need to add the same thing, all other parts. For instance, I need to copy this and paste over here and paste it on the next up to the end. So this is not really practical. Instead of repeating multiple times the same codes, it's really great idea to define the sub. The sub is really simple and straightforward. This like this. So come over here. At the beginning, I need the modifiers. Modifiers is something like, for instance, the private or public. And after that, I have the sub keyword. This is the keyword by the VB.net. Then sub name. This is the name of my sub. Also, I have all of these parameters here. Then the code should be over here. And after that, I have the end sub. So my codes should be between the sub and the end sub. And this is the real world project. And as a result, I have this sub over here. So this is modifier, then the sub over here, the name of my sub, and the parameters of my sub. Then all of these codes are inside the sub and the end sub. Let's define the first sub in our programming world. It's very simple. You can write the private or the public. This is the public. By default, the sub is public, so you can get access to it everywhere inside your project. So let's write private, and after that the sub, then the name for that. And if I take a look, let's name it numbers calc or calculator and press enter. Now my sub is added over here, but it hasn't any parameter inside it. So let's copy all of this from here up to this one and paste it. So I have access to all of this. Now it's time to call it. Calling the sub is really simple. Just write call. What do you want to call? If I take a look, the numbers calc, numbers calc, this is. And I can easily use the call to call and execute this line of the code. So it's time to use the call to execute this sub and the codes inside it. The call is optional, so you can add it or you can leave it. Just add the call. It is really great idea adding the call for better aligning of the codes. Now, if I want to use this one in the remaining buttons, it's not really great idea because this part and this part is different based on the selected button. So if I take a look over here, so I'll select this and click inside it. So I have this code and the number 3 over here and here. As I mentioned previously, we have the parameter. So we have the parameter list inside the parentheses. We can easily add any type of the parameter. So come over here and let's just scroll down, and I can easily come over here and say the name. Name, for instance, the bot name or number. So this is bot name, and let's make it uppercase bot name as a string. Why the string? Because this number is a string. Also, this number is a string. So instead of this number, I can come over here, copy, and replace with this bot name and also bot name. Now the error is this, and it asks me to assign the bot name. The bot name, this is the bottom 9, so it is this one, the bottom 9. So let's copy this and come over here and call it. This is the number 8, so let's change it. Also, I can come over here, select this, and the number 7. As you see, we have only one line of the code, and it is only calling the main sub in the codes. So it's very simple and straightforward. And this is the 6. The next one is the 5. And this one, if I take a look, is 4. And the next one is 3. This is 3. This is 2. And this is 1. And paste over here. And finally, the number 0. Select this and assign the 0 over here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Everything is summarized, and I have up to 56 lines of the code. And this is the power of the sub inside the VB.NET. Now if I run, I can see the result over here. Let's be patient. So let's write 0 and it's working. All of these are working in the best manner. Let's write 10 up to this number and also 3, and we need to check all of this one by one to be sure that everything is working. So it looks great and amazing. Now what about the next step? In the next step, it's time to write the code for the operational buttons, including the plus, minus, multiplying, and the division. It's time consuming, so let's talk about it in the upcoming tutorial. Now go ahead and open up your project and start working with the sub in the VB.NET. Thanks and thanks goodness. Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to easily start writing the code for the operator buttons, including the plus, minus, multiply, and division. So let's do it. Firstly, we talked about how to write the code for the numeric buttons, including the clear button also. So let's continue our mission. If I come over here and write 20, for instance, and press the plus, this is. So two labels are added at the top. The first one shows the last entered number, and you can see the 20 over here. Then I have the operator type over here. Let's do it in the action. Come over here and come to the toolbox and say hello to the label. Drag and drop the label over here. This is my first label. Then I have the next one and the second label over here. Both of this select, then come to the properties and auto size set it to false like this. Now I have the first label and I want to resize it up to here and also up to this one. And this is the second one. So let's select this, come to the properties and the text align. This is the text align. So let's set it to the right middle or middle right. And also this is the number, for instance, let's assign the number inside it. Then I have the label 2 and let's add the plus over here. And if I take a look, it is something like this. So I can come over here and move it a little bit and also right click on it and bring to front. So it is at the front of this. The first one is first number. And the next one is the operator. So label, and it is operator. So this is the label operator. And over here, let's select this, and the name of this is button 13. Let's change it to the plus. And the next one is minus. This is the minus. And the next one is multiply. So this is multiply. And after that, this is the division or the div. This is the div or division. Now let's select this and click on it. In the next step, it's time to write the C# code to assign indeed the text inside my main text box to the first number. It's very simple and straightforward. So come over here and say me first number dot text equals to me the main text box dot text. This is. And after that, let's say me the operator label dot text equals to the plus like this. And it's time to repeat the codes for the remaining buttons. The minus, you can see the minus over here. The next one is multiply. And the next one is the percent. And it is indeed the division. But copy and pasting the codes over here is not really a great idea, and it is difficult to manage them when we want to update the codes. As I mentioned previously, we have this sub, so I can come over here and create my second sub. It's really simple. Just write the sub and name it operator buttons or bots and press enter. In the next step, let's cut this and paste it over here inside the sub operator buttons and copy and paste it over here. I can add the call, it is optional, but you can use it or you can leave it. But currently this method or the sub is only for the plus and it is designed for the plus especially. And we need to add some parameter over here and replace this one by the parameter. So let's name it up type and it is the as a string like this. Now I have the up type, so the up type is over here. Change the operator with that. So for the plus button, I can add the plus and I can copy this and paste it over here. And the next one is the minus, so write the minus. And the next one is multiply, so use the lowercase x. If you wanna use the uppercase x like this, you need to use the uppercase in the future codes, so it's really important matter. Let's use the lowercase. Also you can use the uppercase, and also this is the division or the percent here. As I mentioned previously, the call is completely optional and you can delete that. But for the user-friendly codes, the call is really a great idea. Then we can identify the sub easily inside the code. So everything looks great and amazing. Now let's run the application and check the result. So let's add 20 plus, and the plus is added over here. And also the minus, the multiply, and the percent. It looks great and amazing. And in addition, if I click on the clear, we need to clear both of this. So let's come over here, and if I take a look, this is the clear, and I need to get inside it and clear everything. So the clear button is over here, and let's say me, the first number dot text equals to nothing. And also let's say me and the operator label dot text equals by nothing. Also, it's really great idea to make the text of both of these labels in the form load event. So click over here in the form load, and I have the calculator FRM load event. Let's copy this, come over here, come to the top of code and paste it over here. You know what? The movement of the events hasn't any effects on the codes. So you can freely, for your better design and faster working and faster coding, you can easily move the event inside your file over here. So let's select this, and it's time to run this inside the form loader. But to prevent duplicating of the codes, it's a really great idea to add another sub, and this is the sub clear all and press enter. Now let's select all of this and paste it inside the clear all, and let's call the clear all, call the clear all like this, and also inside the form load. So currently I have the text over here and also here. And if I run, I can see the result. So by default, all of these are clear. If I run 20 plus, so the 20 plus is added over here. And also I can write 10, but the number is added at the end of previous number. And this is not really great idea. Indeed, if I click on this, then press the plus or minus, then it's a really great idea to clear this text. It's a really important matter. So if I come over here and click on the plus, I have the operator buttons, and this is the operator buttons. I can add the comment here and say me main text box dot text equals to what? Equals to nothing. Now if I stop and run the application, I can see the result. So let's write 20 plus 63, and as you see, it is working. 50 plus the 60, so it's working. And also let's write 45 plus 60, and after that let's change the operator. This is the plus operator. I can change it to the multiply like this. So if I come over here and select the next one, well, what happened? There is the same bug over here. After changing the operator, these values are incorrect. So if I select something like this, minus and plus, so it's not working. The solution is really simple and straightforward. The solution is really simple and straightforward, and it is over here. By default, after clicking on the operator buttons, the text of the main text box will assign to the first number text. And this is the first step. So let's come over here, and before assigning the main text to the first number, I can add the if structure and say if my main text box, so main text box, this is the main text box dot text, not equals to nothing. It means there is something inside it. Then add the main text box to the first number label like this. Now add some comment here and add some other comment over here for better aligning of the codes. So this means please check if the text of the main text box is not equals. This is not equal operator. Is not equals to nothing. It means there is something inside the main text box. Then get the main text box text and assign it to the text property of the first number. Now if I run, I can see the great and amazing result. So let's select 20, then plus, and currently this is nothing. And if I write the second number like this, so it's working. Now let's clear it. 25 plus, and I want to change it something like this to minus, multiply, and division. Then let's select the second number, and the second number is added over here. Perfect. Now if I change the operator, for instance, let's change it to the plus like this. So the minus, the multiply, the percent, and plus, for instance, or minus 5, and the equals over here. Well done. Now we learned how to write the codes with the operator buttons. It's really great and amazing. But there is another steps for completing the calculator. It's time consuming. So let's talk about it in the upcoming tutorial. Go ahead, open up your project and start writing the code for the operator buttons. Thanks and thanks goodness. Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to easily start writing the VB.NET code for the decimal button. Now, let's begin. Till now, we talked about how to write the codes for the numeric buttons, the operators, and the clear. And the next one is the decimal button, this one. Before doing anything, let's come over here and rename the button and name it, for instance, the decimal. You can write the decimal button or button decimal. I'm gonna add the button at the first for faster finding of the buttons and the controls on my phone. So you can add the decimal at the beginning, no worries and no problem. So this is the number 0. If I click on it, I have this line of the code. So let's copy and come over here and add it inside this one. So it's time to change it to the dot or period. And come over here, and if I run, I can see the great and amazing result. So let's come over here and write 1.2, and it's working. So the next one is 0.002, it's working. But if I take a look and press the 1 and press the dot multiple times, so there is multiple decimal points over here. That is not really great idea. The solution is adding a kind of if structure to check if the text has the dots or not. So let's cover here and come to this. The name of this text box is main text box. So the name of this is the main text box. Cover here and come to this one. I can easily add the if structure and say if the main text box dot text contains means go ahead and check the text of the text box and find what. Find for the, if I take a look, I have up to 6 different overloads. Find for the string, and it is number 3 over here. So I want to search for this value, the dot or period. And if it contains, if I hover on the contents, the return is boolean, true or false. True means the text of my main text box contains or has the dot inside it. And if I hover on the contents, the false means the text hasn't any kind of the period inside it. So let's write if the contents equals to the true, then easily return and do nothing. Now let's write the code to stop executing the remaining codes in this one. So come here and add the else structure and cut this and paste it inside the else. And for this one, I can easily write nothing and leave it because the codes inside the else will be executed. Or you can easily say return to stop the execution of the remaining codes, or you can leave it empty, or you can write exit what, exit the sum easily and quickly. You are completely free to select one of these. All of these methods are similar. So let's run and let's see the result. Also I can add the breakpoint over here, and this is the breakpoint. So let's write, for instance, 2 point, and if I take a look, the text is 2. So it contains the dot or not? No, it doesn't anything inside it. So go to the next line and click on the F10, go to the else. In this step, I can watch execution of the codes inside the numeric calc method or the sub, or I can leave it. If I don't want to get inside this method or the sub, easily click on the F10. Or if you want to watch the codes inside this, you can use the step into or F11 like this. So press the F10 and everything is executed like this. The text is 2 point and this is the 2 point. So go to the next line and continue. Now the text is a 2 point. This time if I press the point one more time, so the current text is 2 point and it contains the period or the dot. So exit sub and do nothing like this easily and quickly. So if I click on this multiple times, nothing happens, and only one instance of the period can be inside the text box like this. Well done. Now learned many great tips and tricks about how to write the code for the decimal button. In the next step, it's time to write the code for the final button, and it is the equals to calculate the operations. It's time consuming, so stay with me. Thanks and thanks goodness. Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to easily write the C# code for the equal button. Now, let's see. Firstly, we talked about how to work with the numeric buttons, the clear and operator buttons. In addition, it's time to work with the last button, and it is the equal. Indeed, after clicking on the equal, we need to add this, the main text box, to this number, the label first number or the first number label. Add it or subtract, multiply or divide it. So let's do it in the action. Come over here and come to this one and get inside the properties, name it button equal. Come over here and double click on this. At the beginning, let's write the if structure and say if if, and indeed I want to get access to the text of this one, and it is operator label. So I'll come to this one and say if me operator label, and this is the operator label, the text property equals to what? Equals to plus. Then do all of these actions. Currently, I have the simple if, and I want to repeat it up to 4 times. Instead of using 4 times of the if structure, you can use the select case. You are completely free. But my favorite one is using the if structure. Previously, we talked about the select case, so you can refer to my previous tutorials. So this is, and it's time to add the main text box plus to the label first number. Before doing that, come over here and let's define DIM. The FN stands for first number, SN stands for the second number, and the R stands for result as double. I'm going to use the double because we can assign the negative numbers, the positive numbers, and also decimal numbers up to 17 digits. So it's a really big number and enough for us. Come over here and come to this one and say Fn. Fn equals. We can use the val and the me and the first text box. This is the text. We can use this code. So it is really simple and it's straightforward. If you hover on the val, you can see conversion val as double. The result is the double. Or you can use the second method, and the second number equals to the double. This is the double. Then parse it to what? Parse the me, then the main text box dot text easily and quickly. Also, it's a really great idea to assign some default value to the R. So it is 0. Now let's add some comment here like this. And the next step is time to write the code over here. This is the plus. So the R equals to what? Equals to first number plus second number, or SN. Now let's add the plus over here. So this is the plus, and also come over here and add like this. Let's copy this part and paste over here, here, and here. So the first one is plus, the next one is minus, and this is the x, lowercase x. And the next one is division. So this is the division. Don't forget, if you want to use the lowercase x over here, then you need to use the same thing over here. Currently, in the operator button, I use the lowercase x. So exactly like this, I should use inside the code. Also for the division, I use the percent. And I use the same thing over here. For the division, use the percent and lowercase x for the multiply. Now this is the plus, and the next one is minus, and the next one is multiply, and this is the multiply asterisk. And after that I have the next step, and it is something like this, the Fn over the Sn, Fn times Sn. And in the next step is time to write the text in the main text box. So let's see, main text box dot text equals R to a string, and this is the result. Also come over here, this is the first one, and this is the negative or minus, and this is the multiply and the division like this. So it's done, and the result is over here. So let's check it if it's working or not. Later I'll show you how to add the breakpoint to look deeply inside the codes. So come over here and write 2 plus 3 equals to 5. It's working perfectly. And after that, 2 minus 1 equals 1. And 1 minus 5 equals -4. So it's working. And also the next one is multiply 2 multiply 5 equals 10. And also 1 over the 4 equals to 0.25. So it's working perfectly. All of these are working. Now let's add the breakpoint over here and get inside the first operator. Now let's write 2 plus 4 and the equals. So my first name is 2. You can see it over here, the Fn. The Sn equals to 4. You can see the Sn, and the result is 0 up to here. So this is, and after that the label operator text equals to plus currently, and the text of operator is plus or add. So this is the result. Go to the next line. You can see it is really simple and straightforward, and the R equals 6. Go to the next, skip that, skip the next one and the next one, and show it in the main text box like this. So it's really simple and straightforward. We need to repeat this action for all the remaining buttons one by one. So 2 minus 1 and equals. So the next one is this one, and the R equals this number 1. 2 minus 1 equals 1. And the minus sign is this one. So continue. And the result is this. Also, let's check it with the decimal numbers. Something like this. For instance, 2. Let's change it to something else. For instance, 0.02 plus 1 equals. So this is the plus. So this is the first number. You can see the first number, the second number, and the R to be added over here. And the R is 1.02. And continue. It's very simple and it's straightforward, and it's working perfectly without any problem. So let's come over here and add another number. For instance, 0.3 plus 5 equals to this number, and the result is this, and we can continue. Also, we can decrease the font size of this text box to show more digits and the numbers. So I can come over here and select this, come to the properties, get inside the font, and reduce the font size up to 22, and this is the result. Now if I save and run the application, I can see the result. Well done. Now my mission is accomplished successfully for the calculator. Now my calculator is finished and is ready to use. Go ahead and open up your project and start working with your own calculator. And don't forget, the main key to become the great and professional programmer is your effort, and you need to be genius and try and try. Thanks and thanks goodness.